idea the amount of ignorant mess we're about to get into right now.
Sit your $5 ass down before I meet.
Hello and welcome to a brand new preview episode for Black on Black Cinema. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
And Terrence.
Hello.
All right, guys, we're back. This is preview episode for Luce, which will be episode 164. Sorry, I had to pull that up. Luce is a movie you can rent on Amazon right now. It's Luce. It is about a young black kid who's adopted by two white liberal parents. And he has a teacher who thinks that he's doing some things that are a little shady in her class. And of course, his liberal white parents believe him. But is he doing them or is he not? And so what seems to be the premise of the movie is, sort of going after white liberalism and how they see black folks. So this should be interesting because we've gone after plenty of white conservatives and their bullshit. So I think this is probably the first white liberal sort of conversation that we're going to really have. So that should be good. And you can watch Luce. You should be able to find it anywhere you rent movies, but it is specifically available on Amazon right now. Random preview topic for episode 164 is so Kamala Harris dropped out of the presidential race today as we're recording. She was a presidential hopeful for some people. Obviously, she was some people. She had a lot of support. I was not one of them. But I think she was an important voice in the race, if nothing else. But she was the only, I would argue, the only woman of color. I don't really count Tulsi Gabbard as a woman of color, but and certainly not Marianne Williamson. So she's still in the race, by the way.
She would speak for the women of color if she were to win, apparently.
Marianne Williamson would probably do it better than most, actually. She's weirdly very good on that one issue. So what were your thoughts? Did you guys did this come as a surprise to you? Are you big Kamala Harris fans? Are you really shattered tonight?
I just found out 30 minutes ago. So, like I did, and she wasn't gonna win anyway. So I'm like, oh, okay. Now she can go to smoking weed in private. She was always high during those debates, right?
She seemed like she had a couple of Chardonnays before she went out there.
She was on something.
Yeah.
Every single one. Like she seemed like she was either just waking up from a nap or she was just constantly high. So I don't know what the fuck was going on. But yeah, I didn't expect her to win, so I'm not shocked or upset or anything like that. But hopefully she can continue to do work in wherever she goes.
Yeah, she'll just go back to the Senate.
Hopefully she gets to the cabinet, probably. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
Hopefully.
Micah, you were a huge, you were crying right before we went on air. You're a huge Kamala Harris fan.
Yeah. I'm a huge Kamala Harris fan. Look. I like Kamala Harris, and I respect what she do. But I'm a huge Kamala Harris fan because she always seemed like she was one sip of wine away from giving you a hand job.
What?
Because she was just out of it. She was just out of it.
She never seemed terribly invested during the debates, except for the first one. I would say
the first one. I was really impressed, and then I don't know what happened, man. Right. It's like she was standing too close to Joe Biden, and whatever fucking old people fucking pheromones that he's excreting kind of flew onto her, and then that was it.
Yeah, it was very weird. Very strange.
Yeah, I look, a lot has been made about how she's like I don't know how to I don't know where she was in the zeitgeist, right? Because some people liked her purely because she was black, right? Some people liked her because of her policies. Some people just vehemently disliked her because she was a prosecutor.
Which I never thought was fair.
And it's like that scene in Roman J. Israel where he's talking to the kids, and then he gets into the argument with the two women, and the women were like, "Oh, so you a lawyer?" "Yes." "Oh, you ever do domestic abuse cases?" "Yeah." "You defend them? What's your point?" Like, I don't trust you, right? Like,
Right.
and that's not necessarily something I don't understand that mentality. Like, did you think she would become president and then
Start locking black people up for weed.
right? What? Huh? What?
Yeah. So the whole prosecutor argument, or the less nuanced argument, which is, yo, she a cop, yo, which is just bizarrely stupid to me. And I think it just lacks any level of adult conversation. She was a prosecutor. Now, I don't have to agree with everything she did, right? She was the prosecutor in the largest state in the country, but, and she does have some level of leeway, but that's not the same as just like not defending laws. Like, she also has a boss. And if those things are not legalized in the state of California where she was, there's only so much she can do. Granted, I think that there are definitely better avenues by which she could have done them. But I never found the fact that she was a prosecutor, and a pretty successful prosecutor in a lot of ways, as a hindrance for not voting for her. I found her policies to be a hindrance for not voting for her. And she just didn't seem like the right person at the right time.
What were her policies?
I mean,
What were they?
I mean, but that was,
I don't know what they are.
That for me was the biggest issue, is she slid on a lot of things. And I think she was, I mean, Micah, I think your choice of words is correct, right? She was just a part of the zeitgeist at the moment, and people pushed her to run. Like, that's what it felt like. But her policy shifted, like her healthcare policy shifted a lot. And it was hard to kind of get a beat on what she actually, not what she believed, because I don't think that's fair, but what she was actually pushing for from a policy perspective. And I think she got one hit on Joe Biden in that first debate that was like a real social issue, and it was a really good way to hit him, and I had no problem with it, and people got amped like she was going to be the second coming. I was like, this is not going to last. Look,
the busing issue, back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, like, that little girl was me. And it was a good line. It was a great line. Heavily rehearsed, but it was a good line.
Yeah, thank you.
Right, it was a heavily rehearsed line. Well, what's even worse is, like, look, I know we're probably going to get hit by people who are big Kamala Harris fans, but like, I also like am a really big politics person. She, like, the thing that she was hitting him on about busing, she also supported that very law, like, very recently. So
yeah, I remember that.
And it was just like, you just undercut your entire point of hitting Joe Biden on it. But again, she just wasn't, she just never felt like she was ready for prime time, which is unfortunate because I like Kamala Harris. But if I have to be honest, I think a big part of Kamala Harris's charm, besides her being like seemingly like, oh, she's the female version of Barack Obama, and like that seems like cool. Like, we might have a female president this time. Like, if we can get a female Obama, that's great. Besides that, I think the biggest thing is like people just liked her just dunking on people during congressional committees or senatorial committees. And she just looked really dope just shitting on somebody like a Republican. And people were just like, she could be president. I'm like, that's not the same thing.
Right.
That's not the same thing.
That's like saying AOC should run for president because she's fucking doing 360 windmill dunks on everybody. Like,
on Twitter.
I need people to slow down,
Right. Well, people do say that. Like, when she's of age, she should run for president. I'm like,
no.
Look, 28, I think. Like, maybe she should, but it's not indicative of anything she's done right now, I would argue. Right. And again, maybe in time, maybe she would be a perfect choice, but I don't know. But yeah, I do think people just really, and I guess that speaks to like the sort of the Twitter generation, like people just really like a hot take or like like that fucking quip that you get or the animated GIF to go viral and shit like that. That doesn't make a president. Like there's a lot more there.
Did you see
There should be.
Maya Rudolph's second impression of Kamala Harris?
The font.
Yeah, like it was all about her realizing that she's not doing well, and she's deliberately trying to make herself a meme.
Yeah, she's trying to go viral. Yeah.
Right. And it's like, it's so indicative of Kamala Harris, the campaign at the time.
Yeah, it was.
She was treading water. And Maya Rudolph was like, I'm going to tell my kids this is Michelle Obama.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like it's so indicative of where she was. And as soon as I saw that, I'm like, well, look, I'm not a politics guy, but I do try to keep my ear to the ground when it comes to what stupid people watch. And if enough stupid people watch that, it's over.
Yeah. Well, I went on Twitter, I guess about a month ago. I was like, yo, she got 2 months left. And this one guy was like, you're wrong. You're stupid. I was like, okay.
Don't you wish you could just go back and find those people?
Oh, I could.
But you can.
The question is, am I enough of a dick to do it? Answer,
yes.
Answer, probably. And what happened? I told you. I knew she was not going to be there before the first election. I knew it. But because she was laying off people like crazy. Like people were just like, yo, I'm out. Like this shit's not working. But look, the major reason to talk about Kamala Harris is that with her leaving, there are no people of color in the next debate. Cory Booker did not make the threshold. Julian Castro did not make the threshold. So that, excuse me, Andrew Yang did make the threshold. So he's there.
Still in there. How? Like, what the?
Honestly, Andrew Yang, I mean, he's got like a decent amount of support, but I mean, he was doing better than Harris's, but, which is crazy. But I think Yang is just going to stay in until it's not viable anymore for him. He'll bail, and he's just trying to build a name so he can push UBI, outside of politics, which is fine. I mean, people do that all the time. I mean, there's a bunch of fucking third string. Why the fuck is Marianne Williamson still there? Like, what's our crazy ass doing there? Selling crystals and orbs? Like, get out of here. Go sit down somewhere.
Little known fact, Andrew Yang produced the movie that we're going to review.
What? Is that true?
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw his name.
Yang?
I mean, look, I was
like, wait, what?
I mean,
are you being a racist and it's just a different Andrew Yang?
I might be being a racist. Andrew Yang has more than 15 years in investment banking, asset management. Yeah,
that's him. That's definitely him. Wow. Interesting.
Yeah, I saw the name, but I'm like, there's a bunch of Andrew Yangs.
Yeah. I guess he secured the bag enough to produce this movie. But how do you guys feel about there not being, besides Andrew Yang, which, by the way, I think is important that we actually have an East Asian guy, an East Asian person, period, in the top, I guess, 5 or 6. How do you guys feel about there being no black people or no Latino folks in the top tier, or just in the debates at all? Like, do you think our voice is missed if they're not there, or what's the deal?
I'm not surprised. Again, the country overcorrected. Well, quote unquote, overcorrected because of Barack Obama.
Overcompensated.
Overcompensated.
Yeah, overcompensated. Right, exactly. Wrong word. And so we're in a shithole right now. And I don't think even the most liberal white folks, I don't think they're ready for a person of color to be president again just yet.
That's interesting. That's an interesting stance.
I don't
I'm not even saying you're wrong. I'm just saying it's an interesting point.
Like,
no, I know.
It all comes back to me not trusting white folks.
Yeah, no, it feels reasonable.
And they're not to be trusted.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a racist, guys. I'm a racist, guys. It's a different Andrew Yang.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well.
Classic Micah. So what do you think there, David Duke of Black Cinema? Do you think you're missing a voice there?
Part of me does, because, I don't say it out loud as much as Terrence does, but,
you feel it. I'm just the voice of the people.
Yeah, you're the voice of the voiceless. I don't necessarily trust people that don't look like us to have our best interest at heart. That's not saying that I do trust people who do look like us, that they have their best interest at heart, because there are numerous examples of the opposite.
Yeah. I'm living one. I get it.
Yeah.
One day that'll be a preview episode. One day.
But it's I think it is important to hear different voices. Yeah. And I am sad that you won't hear Kamala Harris's voice or Julian Castro's voice in these debates. But I'm even more sad that Pete Buttigieg is still in it.
That's sentient Wonder Bread.
You're sad that he's in it.
Yes, I am. Is he at the next debate?
Of course he is. He's in the. He's leading. He's the leading in a couple of states.
And Cory Booker isn't. They're the same fucking person.
No, that's not fair. Pete Buttigieg has never smashed something as hot as Rosario Dawson. Knock it off. And that's not because he's gay. I'm just saying Rosario Dawson is fine as hell, male or female.
And what I'm saying is, I don't think Cory Booker's smashing.
I mean, that's right.
But Cory Booker,
probably
they're the same person statistically, right? Except Cory Booker's got more fights under his belt.
No, actually, I would tend to disagree with that. Cory Booker is much more progressive than Buttigieg is. He is.
Thank you for making my point even further.
Yeah, Booker should definitely be there over Buttigieg. I agree with you.
Yeah, I think I'm a little more disappointed in that than Kamala Harris dropping out of the race.
Yeah, I thought Booker would have done better. I really would have.
I don't think he's going to win.
He is not. No.
I think he'll if whoever wins, I think he's got a seat somewhere in that administration.
Yeah, I think
he would take a seat. I mean, somewhere, something.
Well, okay, he's from New Jersey. I don't remember who the governor. Excuse me. I don't remember who the governor of New Jersey is, and that matters, right? Because you would lose that Senate seat if it's a Republican. I can't remember. I don't think it is. If it's not a Republican, by the time that came around, then I could see him bailing. But the Democrats can't afford to lose a Senate seat. But that being said, I think Booker would be good. I mean, I think Booker and Julian Castro feel like very much the same guy to me, right? They're kind of occupying the same lane, which is like the humanity lane. Where what I mean by that is like they actually speak to like very human issues, right? Like they generally don't pull too far out of those issues. And you can say that's good or bad. I'm not here to discuss that, but I think they both do such a good job of speaking to the like human suffering and things like that in the United States and across the globe, actually. So I like both of them. And I like Booker a lot. I think he's a genuine guy. I think he's a giant herb, but he just is. He's just a fucking dork. But I like the guy. Like, I feel like he's one of those guys. It's just hard to not like him as a human being. If you're really giving him a chance. I just think he's a good dude. So we'll see. I'm sure he will continue to do well in New Jersey as a senator, but I would like to see him get a step up. I was kind of shocked that he was just kind of middling in the middle for so long. Because like people like Beto O'Rourke should have never come anywhere close to being where Booker was. Never. Like Beto just I almost won this race that one time, and like that was it. So he shouldn't even have run as far as I'm concerned. But But it's like Harris, right? It's just trying to be, you're a part of the zeitgeist. And so you got people around you telling you like, this is your moment, seize it. I mean, look, it worked for Barack Obama, right? Like he did seize it and he fucking won. But just because you exist doesn't make you Barack Obama. There's a whole host of other issues why he won. And it ain't just because he was part of the fucking zeitgeist. So yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, look, I do miss having those voices. I think especially Castro and Booker, I think really are missed voices. That being said, I need some of these other motherfuckers, a bunch of these other just like generic white men to just get the fuck out. I don't need Tom Steyer. I don't need Michael Bloomberg. Fuck him. I don't need like just a bunch of carbon copies of the same guy. Like just go, just get out of here. De Blasio, just go. Nobody needs any of you.
He's still in it?
I think so. Talking all loud and shit. I can't keep up. There's 39 fucking people running. Just look, Joe Sestak, he just got out of the race. I didn't even realize he was still running. Some people didn't even know he was running at all. Like, just
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, exactly. No one knows. So yeah, you can just get these people the fuck out of here. So look, ultimately, I'm not surprised that Kamala Harris got out of the race when she did, but I do need people to be a little bit more reasonable than just calling her a cop. It's stupid. It's just dumb. And it's also not just racism as to why she's not in the race. She also ran a shitty campaign. It sucked. She thought she was going to make her stand in California. Like, lady, there's like 4 or 5 races before California. What the fuck are you doing? It's called momentum. Like, and then she was like, I'm going to change and I'm going to go after Iowa. And it was like, it's too late. Fucking Wonder Bread Pete Buttigieg is already in the lead now. Like, what the fuck? So, no, she didn't run a very good campaign because she wasn't ready to be president. I mean, that is the ultimate takeaway. She just wasn't. Anything else before we get out of here? Before we come back next week with Luce?
Why do you hate black women?
It's a good question. No idea. Sorry. Because we'll get that. We'll get that, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Even though we all said we like Kamala Harris, although Micah said she looks like she was one glass of wine away from my hand.
She does, yo. She does. She looks like she looks
That's
like
fucking
she
hilarious.
looks like if y'all are in a club. And
See, you're just gonna get yourself all the way in trouble.
I mean, look, nobody cares. Apparently nobody cares because she's a dirty, filthy cop. She's a pig cop. So who cares, right? Who cares? Which is it? Do you like her or don't you? Which can't take a joke. Get out of here. Maybe you should be the one getting a hand job if you can't take a joke.
Yeah, I mean,
take the edge off.
I mean, I get jokes, but like, take an H joke. I'm gonna turn it down. All right, I think that is very much it for this week's episode. Can you tell we've been off? So we're back from vacation and from the holiday. Hopefully everybody ate themselves into a coma. Terrence, did you have a good Thanksgiving? I didn't ask. I forgot to ask.
It was all right.
Oh.
Did you have any good? Did you have some really, really good food?
I had really good food, but
No, I didn't say really good food. I said really, really good food.
Fuck off.
I invited you.
Yeah, no, but I had other things to take care of. Anyway.
That rib roast was delicious. I must say so myself. Yes. All right, that's it. I saw Micah on Thanksgiving, so I don't give a fuck about him. All right, guys, we will see you guys next week for Luce.
See ya.
Bye. You're watching the Black on Black Cinema YouTube channel. Make sure you check out our full reviews of black movies, past and present. And every other week, we do a preview episode where we talk about a random topic that affects the black community.